Thank you. Well, hello, my name is Shelly Sanchez Terrell, for those of you who I have not met yet, and I'm incredibly grateful that you are spending the next 10 minutes with me. I want to speak to you today about a few moments, and one of those moments every teacher, every guru, every presenter here has had, and that is that moment when we feel like we shouldn't be a teacher anymore, or when this job gets overwhelming and it becomes a job, and when it becomes a burden, and we just don't feel like we have an impact or make an impact with our students anymore. And so I want to offer you some encouragement through encouraging you and giving you the mission and the challenge to start accomplishing micro goals. And what I mean by micro goals are goals that are accomplished within a class period or within a day. And so this presentation is to give you a few of those ideas that have come from 4 years of my work with a community of incredible teachers that I've been fortunate to travel and meet in around 30 different countries. And so we are a supportive community, and I want to show you some of the goals that we accomplish each year. We try to accomplish 1 to 30 goals. But before I can help you continue this and to get some joy back into your teaching profession or keep this joy, it's important that you yourself begin to believe in your power, your ability to make an impact with your students. According to teachers.org, the average teacher impacts about 3,000 students. I believe with social media and teaching online, you impact much more. So in order for them to believe in themselves, in order for them to have a positive impact, you have to believe in yourself. And so it's important you put little notes, even like this, Post-it notes everywhere, send yourself reminders, give yourself pep talks, and let yourself know, I am a teacher. I am the kind of person that transforms the world, that has the power and the ability to get my students to really think about others, to want to help others, to care for others. Because someday, each of them will have that position and be able to make those decisions. And it's important, especially with the ones that give us the most difficulties, the ones that, and I know teachers don't like to admit this, but there are some students that at the beginning you just don't like or you just don't get along with. But these are the students that it's so important that you plant a seed of belief. Every single student needs to either see on a note, a piece of paper, the words, I believe in you, or hear you say, I believe in you face to face. And when teachers accomplish this goal, even when they're teaching teens, even when they're teaching 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds, they often report that there's a student that has said, no adult has ever told me this. So it's important we get those words out. You can do micro goals, things like give each one a high five and say, go champ, for a day, or smile at each student and make sure that you shake their hand and say, oh, you're going to rock it today, or I believe in you, or pat their back, something to show them through actions and words you believe in them. And we can show through our actions that we believe in them by cultivating relationships. And that means that we transform our classrooms into communities. We can have 5-minute icebreakers or team building exercise at least once a week. And you can go to shellyterrell.com/icebreakers and find many of these with technology, without technology. But you can also make sure that your students, that you listen to them, that they give, that they're able to share their ideas within the class, where you give them a day where they get to decide how they're going to learn whatever topic it is. And when you let go and lose the control, and it's more them talking and communicating and you listening, then that really helps them shine. We need to transform in the way that we assess and we grade. Our students need to understand that they are not numbers, and that if they don't get a high score on a test or on a quiz, that doesn't mean that they fell in life. and that they have to keep trying. And we can show them examples like the famous Michael Jordan, who often failed and didn't make the team, or someone like Abraham Lincoln, who tried, I believe, like 20 times before he became president. And it's important to remind our students that their heroes didn't become heroes overnight. It wasn't the first chance, but they got up and they picked themselves up again, and that's how they became heroes and heroic. It's also important that we don't grade all the time. You don't have to grade every lesson. In fact, it's better if you don't, because then you'll realize that your students will realize learning can have value just for the sake of learning. I give my students 100 at the beginning of the class period, and I do this to say each one of you has 100. And it's been such a powerful motivator for my students who have never gotten 100. Each year I get one that says, I've never gotten 100 in my life. And I say, well, I'm giving you this because I believe in you, and I want you to do your best in this class, and I'm going to push you because I believe it's in you. We need to rethink the way we show our students we care, not by punishing them, but by getting them to reflect on their behavior choices and the consequences of those choices. Get them to do kind things. They need to be in the random acts of kindness every week. And we need to realize, this might sound like foo-foo or something, but it's not, because learning is not schooling. Learning is connected to having a meaningful life. And so we need to take the time to cater to that meaningful life. It's important, and I often say this story about how a student threw a share at me, and I didn't send him to the office. Instead, we talked, and I got him to reflect on how he was going to make better choices when he got angry or upset. And I found out he was having troubles at home, and I said, okay, we all have troubles, but how are you going to make better choices? And from that day on, nobody had ever gotten that aggressive again. He never got that aggressive again. And I felt like he learned how to make better behavior choices. But if I would have sent him, he would have gotten expelled. He wouldn't have been in class with me, and he would have never known that an adult would take the time to help him do better. When we integrate technology, and I'm a huge advocate of technology, it's important that our students realize that they can problem solve with it, that they can do kind deeds, that they can even solve issues around them that they face now with technology. Show them examples like Kid President, who has used his social media presence to send messages to millions, to motivate them to be awesome, to dance, to do better. And these would be powerful examples of teens who are solving issues like cancer, where they're coding, where they're scientists. Give them powerful examples they can learn from. So you don't get overburdened with your job, so you can continue to find the joy, then you have to be able to laugh. You have to be able to laugh with your students, enjoy the time with your students, have those magical moments. And remember when you were back to childhood, and how when you were a child, you loved to learn and explore, and there wasn't all this schooling around it. That days you would just play and make sand castles, or you pretend you were a superhero and put on a cape, and nobody was there to say, no, you have to do this correct grammar, or you have to make sure you're using the future tense, or you have to make sure that you are going to have a test on it. And so we have choked the joy of learning. And so there are days when you just don't need to have a lesson plan, but just get students to go on an adventure, read a book, do something where there's not going to be grades, where they're not going to be punished, and they're just going to see the value and feel that joy of learning again. You have such an important mission. It's important you take care of yourself. And this is the hardest goal for me. This is one I struggle with often. And this is something that you can do. Take 15 minutes to yourself, 30 minutes each day. To meditate, pray, do yoga, dance to your favorite song, choose a personal theme song, but give yourself some time for peace of mind and relaxing. And finally, we can't do this alone. The way that I've been able to have incredible moments with learners. The way that I'm able to transform lives is because of the community, because of many of you who are here with me today. And so I hope that when you're building your personal passion learning network, you'll include the 30 Goals community. We're on Facebook, and you'll include me. And I want to give you a final mission. Connect with someone today in this webinar room, someone you don't know. Offer support, offer one of the presenters, let them visit their blogs, connect with them. And thank you so much for spending this time with me. And thank you, Rob, for providing me with this opportunity.